The best investing channel on YouTube. I am your host Carter, and in today's video we are going to be looking at the one and only GameStop. Now, there's been a lot of volatility, a lot of hype about this stocks for months now, but over the past day or so, we've seen a lot of buying pressure enter this stock. This stock has now become the most trended stock out there on Robinhood, TD Ameritrade, M1 Finance. What does that mean? Okay, so do you guys remember when this stock went from around $26 all the way up to almost $500 per share, right? This caused huge corporations to actually sell their stock that they were shorting, causing a massive short squeeze because they had to buy those shares back, making this stock go parabolic, right? And a lot of people made millions of dollars off this move. And a lot of people lost a lot of money too, because just as fast as this thing went up, it went down, right? But the beauty of it is they did it again. So this thing went from 40 all the way up to almost $300, did squeeze out almost past, $350 for a little bit. And then it sold off again. Just as fast as this thing went up, it went down. It did find some temporary support at this 90 moving average line. So do you guys see this faint purple line here? It's kind of hard to see, but what this is, this represents the 90 moving average line. So it takes the previous 90 days and it merges their closing prices together, and it creates this line. This line acts as a support when the stock's above it. And when it's below it, it tends to act as resistance, right? So with the stock being above it, this represents a good opportunity to buy it, right? So every time it comes in contact, if you buy it, you're pretty much buying it on a support, on an undervalued point for the stock. So hit it here, 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 and then it hit it here, right? And every time we've seen buying pressure. But with that, this stock did have a hard time breaking above the 185 mark. You guys can see it came in contact pretty much, once here, here, and then here. So about 3 times, and we had a little bit of consolidation, which is pretty good because when you have consolidation, it doesn't represent sell-off. It represents just pretty much a mixture of emotions in the market, right? And what I think is going to happen is, since this stock is the most trended and most talked about company out there right now, I think that we could possibly see a resistant breakout of $200. This thing could easily break above it, right, and come and squeeze up to $300. But with that, GameStop is a volatile stock, right? Like I said, just as fast as this thing went up, it went down multiple times. So the risk level is pretty high, I would say. But what comes with higher risk is higher reward, right? So I think that this was definitely a little bit of a risky investment. I would not go heavily in this, right? I would rather see you guys invest, in a stable company, stable blue chip company for the long term, right? But for the short term, there's opportunity here. Okay, not to mention, let's look at GameStop's fundamentals. So the fundamentals really is all the boring stuff that all the nerds care about, right? This is, the revenue, the profit, all of that stuff. So you guys can see that they did lose a little bit of money with a 3.2% decline in total revenue, which is not very good. It really isn't, but it's common to see that, this company did struggle in 2020. They had to close thousands of stores across the United States. And the cool part is GameStop did have a lot of board members change. And those board members are now looking for more of an e-commerce store, which I think that GameStop probably should have been doing that a long time ago, but it's better late than never, I guess. But one of the most important things for me when evaluating a company is the cash on hand. Now, the reason why this is so important is because if that, say, GameStop slows down again and, they can't pay their employees or their leases or to get product in their store, you need cash, right? So right now, GameStop does have a little bit of cash, okay, which is overall pretty decent. But if you have a lot of cash, but you even have more long-term debt, right? That's not a good thing. So looking at GameStop's long-term debt, and let me go to it right here. You guys can see that it does have around $200 million in long-term debt, but it does have $600 million of cash on hand. So that's the only thing that I really like about this. But another thing is it's a brick and mortar store right now. I understand that they are turning more towards e-commerce. I would like to see them have, strong numbers on the e-commerce side. But with that, that's more of a long-term outlook. But for the short term, I think that GameStop really could easily see some buying pressure enter this. A lot of people are freaking out saying that GameStop's, undervalued, overvalued. I think for the long term, GameStop right now is overvalued, right? Because the price to earnings are all high. The company's worth $200 or $20 billion, but they don't bring in nearly as much money as that. And with that, they only have a couple $100 million of cash on hand, and the company's worth $200 or $20 billion. It doesn't make sense, right? But for the short-term outlook, I could definitely see this stock continue to get buying pressure, break above 200 and come up to about $250, $300 a share. For the short term, this is definitely a riskier stock with it being up around 3%. A lot of buying pressure is starting to slowly add up to this company, and I'm excited to see what happens. I really am. And, let's look at just the general market today was down. So more people are actually turning their heads towards companies like GameStop than just the general market, which in my opinion is crazy here. But AMC, another one that has been seeing a lot of buying pressure over the past couple of weeks, did get a little bit of sell-off, which was kind of expected. But GameStop is killing it. So higher risk, higher reward, and I can definitely see this stock moving for the short term. Long-term outlook is pretty overvalued. So we will see you guys later. Remember to stay happy, guys. Stay positive and stay safe out there. We'll see you later. Take care, guys.